How a dopamine detox can improve your mental health and productivity. A 2025 guide. In the age of constant digital connectivity, the average American spends over 4 hours a day on their phone, and this time is often spent in an endless cycle of social media, video streaming, and endless scrolling through feeds. This behavior is driven by algorithms designed to keep us hooked, providing us with what is known as cheap dopamine. If you've ever tried to reduce your screen time or create a healthier relationship with technology, you've probably found it to be an incredibly difficult task. The challenge lies in the way technology, and particularly AI-driven platforms, are designed to keep us engaged. But what if there was a way to take back control and reset our minds? In this video, we will dive into the science behind dopamine, explore a more refined protocol for a successful dopamine detox, and provide practical insights into how you can reclaim your attention and mental clarity. By the end of this guide, you'll understand how you can enhance your mental well-being, productivity, and even creativity, without falling into the traps of endless stimulation. Let's begin by understanding the fundamentals of dopamine and how it impacts our daily behavior. The role of dopamine in motivation and behavior. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that plays a crucial role in motivation, desire, and reward. It's essentially the brain's way of signaling that something is important, driving us to pursue and repeat behaviors that produce pleasurable outcomes. However, the problem with modern technology is that it provides an unnatural overabundance of dopamine. As we binge-watch TV shows, scroll through social media, or swipe on dating apps, our brains are bombarded with dopamine spikes, which leaves us overstimulated. Over time, this constant cycle of high stimulation can disrupt our brain's natural ability to regulate dopamine, leading to issues like attention problems, anxiety, and even addiction. This is where a dopamine detox comes in. It's not about eliminating dopamine entirely, which is impossible and unnecessary, but rather about reducing the sources of cheap dopamine and allowing your brain to recalibrate. A dopamine detox gives you the space to reset your mind and regain control over your attention. Phase 1. Preparation. Setting clear intentions. The first step in a successful dopamine detox is setting clear intentions. Many people approach a detox as a challenge or a temporary fix, but the key to lasting change is understanding why you are doing it in the first place. Reflect on your goals. Do you want to reduce anxiety, improve your focus and productivity, or simply reconnect with life outside of your screen? For example, I once attempted a detox with a partner who didn't quite share my vision. For her, it was more of a competition. Who could go the longest without checking TikTok? But for me, it was about hitting the reset button on my life and gaining control over my time and energy. The difference in our intentions led to very different outcomes. By taking time to deeply consider your reasons for a dopamine detox, you can more effectively articulate and visualize your goals. This makes the detox more meaningful and can lead to transformative results. Phase 2. Execution. Cutting out the sources of cheap dopamine. Once you're clear about your intentions, it's time to execute the detox by cutting out certain behaviors and habits. But before we begin, it's important to understand that dopamine is not something we get from external sources like sugar or alcohol. Our body naturally produces dopamine in response to activities. The goal is to minimize overstimulation from external stimuli that cause unnatural dopamine surges. Here are the 4 categories to focus on cutting out. 1. Binge tech. This includes social media, video games, and streaming services. These platforms are engineered to capture your attention and keep you scrolling endlessly. For creators and knowledge workers, YouTube can still be useful, but it's essential to minimize distractions like suggested videos and autoplay. Using tools like the ARC browser, can help hide these distractions, allowing you to use the platform without falling into its trap. 2. Unhealthy sex habits. This refers to pornography, excessive masturbation, and swiping on dating apps. Research shows that the dopamine spikes from these behaviors can be even higher than those caused by real-life sexual experiences. The goal is to reset your brain's reward system, which can be distorted by these easy, quick dopamine hits. 3. Toxic consumables. Alcohol, drugs, and processed foods, especially those high in sugar and fat, also contribute to dopamine imbalances. Research supports the idea that these substances interfere with neurotransmitter systems, including dopamine and serotonin, leading to a cycle of addiction and poor mental health. 4. Thrill-seeking behaviors. This includes gambling, crypto trading, online shopping, and even excessive social media browsing. The anticipation of a potential reward from these activities is often more addictive than the reward itself, as the brain craves the dopamine surge from the expectation. By cutting out these behaviors, you allow your brain to recalibrate and reduce overstimulation, which is the first step towards feeling more grounded and focused. Phase 3. Resensitization. Building healthy dopamine habits. After you've cut out the sources of cheap dopamine, it's time to focus on healthy habits that allow your brain to produce dopamine in a balanced and sustainable way. The key here is to engage in activities that require effort and are aligned with your personal values and goals. 1. Physical activity. Exercise is one of the best ways to boost your mood and maintain healthy dopamine levels. Studies consistently show that physical activity increases dopamine receptor density in the brain, helping to reset your reward system. Whether it's hiking, yoga, or weightlifting, find an activity that you enjoy. 2. Social connection. Interaction with others is essential for maintaining mental health. Research shows that meaningful social connections promote the release of dopamine in a way that is far more beneficial than the shallow, transactional interactions on social media. 3. Reflection and mindfulness. Journaling, meditation, and quiet reflection can help you connect with your thoughts and emotions in a deeper way. This practice can help you gain clarity and emotional regulation, leading to long-term mental well-being. 4. Deep work on personal projects. This is perhaps the most critical element. Dopamine is released when we work hard toward achieving something meaningful. Whether it's learning a new skill, starting a YouTube channel, or building a personal business, the sense of accomplishment and fulfillment that comes from deep, focused work is the healthiest form of dopamine release. Conclusion: embrace the detox for long-term growth. A dopamine detox isn't about deprivation. It's about creating space for healthier, more sustainable sources of happiness and motivation. By reducing your dependence on technology and cheap dopamine, you can rewire your brain to seek fulfillment through meaningful activities. Whether it's physical activity, social interaction, or personal growth, these are the behaviors that will lead to long-term mental and emotional health. In a world where instant gratification is the norm, the ability to focus, work hard, and create something meaningful will become your greatest asset. The path to mental clarity and productivity starts with a reset, a dopamine detox. If you're ready to regain control of your life, now is the perfect time to start.